In today's video, we are making a card that is using one of the press plates from Yana Smakula's Yana's Daisies. This is a brand new collection that hit the shelves of Spellbinders store on the 10th. That was this past Thursday, and it's partially available in the store, but it might not be sold out. The items that are sold out in the store might still be available at scrapbook.com, Cherry on Top, Scrapbook Pal. I will make sure I link as many places as possible down in the description below so you can look for all of the items that you might be interested in. I know it's a hot commodity because Yana's designs are amazing. Let me show you super quick. This one here is her traditional die set. She has one of these with each of her trademark flower collections. This is Yana's Daisies. This is a gorgeous set. It cuts 3 separate pieces, and I will show you a sample super quick. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want to get into the card, but here is what the actual die cut does. It cuts to where you can do multiple colors. You can choose to do inlays. You can ink them up. You can Copic color the petals. You can do so much with this. So this is also a sampling here of the style font that is in her sentiment set that I'm going to show you. So that just gives you a 2 for 1. Well, actually 3 for 1. This is her embossing folder. It's created to do a beveled A2 card. Isn't that not classy? And I show you this because I watched her actual video this afternoon of the release, and she created this and designed this after her kitchen cabinets. Isn't that really cool? She was getting new cabinets, and that made her think of having something like that for a card. Amazing idea. This embossing folder is called Molded Frame. So that is amazing, would be amazing for a stash item. These sentiments are called Crafty Hugs, but only one sentiment in the set says Crafty Hugs. All of the other ones are traditional sentiments. There's Missing You, Just a Note, Sending Love and Hugs, Hello, and Dear Friend is separate, Thinking of You, and Happy Birthday. All of them have coordinating dies except the Dear Friend. This press plate here, I just did a live on and made 2 cards with this past Thursday. So if you check my channel and you look under the live tab, you can come and see these cards. I actually have them here just in case you want to pop on over and see what we made. So we did a regular glimmer and a reverse glimmer. And it's the opposite of the traditional because her panels are the opposite. When you press or glimmer them, you're pressing the background. This part stays white so that you can have your white daisies. So I just happen to color them in here, but she also gives you the stencils so that you can do them any color that you want. So I have to still put these in the wash from the live. I'm filming this the evening of the live, so I just wanted you to know that it did come with a set of stencils, but this was really fun to play with. So I just wanted you to have a little peek at that just in case you missed the live. And then this, I'm so excited that she did a 5x7. This, I believe, is the first 5x7 in her collection, but this is Daisy Shower. This was Daisy Trio, by the way, but this is Daisy Shower, and Daisy Shower is indeed a 5x7. I know a lot of my followers are going to indeed love this idea. So I just wanted to make sure, and it does have a stencil. Now, if you're interested in anything that comes with a stencil, make sure to buy the bundle because the stencil does not get sold separately. So make sure of that. Okay, I just wanted to run through that super quick. So this was also one other sample I did of the Daisy Trios. This one here is the first, and this is hot foiled. I hot foiled them. This was the hot foil, and this was the reverse. Isn't that really interesting? I just love it. And I only used the first stencil on here. That's all I used because the daisy, I wanted it to be a traditional daisy. So I just used Stencil 1, super quick coloring. Makes for a quick card. And you could BetterPress this as well. You could BetterPress this in one color, stencil one time, boom, you got a card. Two other quickies. We have a $25 off a $100 purchase. So I wanted to let you know that that is actually going on during release week. So there's that. And then there is my challenge. My challenge for the month over in Craft Life Together with Spellbinders and More group is currently going on for the month of April. You've got 3 ways to enter. You've got the color combination of the month, you've got the card sketch of the month, or you can be adventurous and do both. So each card is an entry, and I've got all the information over in the group. I am going to be doing a live giveaway inside the Facebook group on the last day of the month, and this is what the one winner is going to receive. So if you're interested in that, then pop on over and join my group. Hope to see you there. Now let's get crafty. Okay, my friends. Now we are going to ink up this BetterPress plate. This BetterPress plate is the one that is 5x7 that I showed you. And we're inking this up with VersaFine Clair ink. Now I have 2 inks here. I have a lighter and a darker blue. And this first blue is Paradise, and the darker blue is Twilight. So I'm just inking it up here, and then we're going to take the Twilight and ink the edges. Now I'm going to go just kind of, I've got the ink pad kind of tilted so that it only gets the edge. So I don't have it flat. And you can see how I'm getting the side of the bottom of the platen there. And it's because I want the lighter color in the middle. Now I'm taking the lighter color now and just kind of blending between them. This is actually easier to do with a dauber, but I wanted to just do it real quick, and I didn't have a new dauber available like super quick. So I just did it like that. Now, I've ran it through my BetterPress, and here is the result. Isn't that pretty? Now we're going to clean the BetterPress plate here for a second. This is LDRS Creatives Extreme Clean. I do have a coupon code for you. You can use Melanie15, and when you go to www.ldrscreative.com, and anytime you shop there, you can use my coupon code Melanie15 and check out how clean it gets it. You can use that anytime and get 15% off. Now here we are going to color these daisies with color pencils. Now I know it comes with stencils, but I'm always different, you know. I'll give you options. So some people may not want to buy the stencils, so I'm going to show you a different option. So I'm using Altenew watercolor pencils, and I'm just coloring about halfway up the petal. I'm leaving half of it white. And this is the lighter of the 2 yellows that I'm going to use, but it's the only one I'm going to use with actual water. The other one is going to be for adding in cast shadows. So we're going to do these 2 flowers here together, and then we will do the leaves, and then I will get to the end, morph you to the end, so you don't have to watch me do all of the others, because it did take a couple hours to color. But I wanted you to learn the process so that you could do this easily yourself on any of your BetterPress backgrounds or designs. So I have a little bit of water here on my counter, my glass mat. And right now I'm just using that tiny bit of water, and I'm just dragging the color out. So I've got the color on the halfway, you know, on the petal halfway, and I'm pulling it out, and the water is thinning the pigment. So your lighter color is at the tips. Now I don't go all the way to the tip. I leave a little bit of the tip white. most of the time. Sometimes it does go all the way because the water runs. But I do not squeeze my pencil, my water brush. I do not squeeze it. The only time I squeeze it is if I'm doing it over the glass mat. I don't squeeze it at all. I would rather dip it in the actual water that's on the glass mat and use the water from there. That way I can control the amount of water that I'm using. So here I'm just painting it like it's a paintbrush. The only thing that makes it easier is that I can actually squirt it out on the table and use it directly like that. So I don't have to worry about, it's like you got the flexibility of both. So I'm going in now with the darker yellow, and I'm just adding cast shadows in here with the pencil lead. Now these are Woodless pencils. So the whole entire pencil barrel is actually pigment, and they're very strong. They're a very hard pencil, so you don't need any casing or anything with them. So there's the comparison of the two. See, one with the cast shadows and one without. So we'll go ahead and add these cast shadows in here. All they are is really straight lines going along the artist drawn lines that are in there, just where you think these shadows will be. Usually when one thing covers another, there is a shadow underneath between them. So if you see one petal laying on top of another petal, you put a cast shadow between them where the one is over top of the other. That's how I decide where to put them. So now I've got the green, the lighter green, and I'm just going to fill in both of the leaves. And I just noticed something. My yellow is turning green in my bottom flower. So I'm drying the paper real quick because I'm wondering if it got into the water, the puddle of water over to the right. So I actually flip it over. I may have taken that out, but I flip it over. Nope, right there. I flipped it over and I'm wondering, is it wet? No, it's not wet. But I'm drying it hoping that was it, but no, it's not it. What actually happened is I used pigment ink for the background. The ink itself is smearing. So the ink is on my hands and my fingers smeared into the yellow. So this is an opportunity for me to teach you how to fix it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to fix the error. Right now I'm drying the pigment. See, I'm checking it. I'm drying the pigment, and this is why I don't use pigment inks very often, because I forget. So I was trying to cover it up here to see, can I cover over it? No, I can't. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. Okay, first you have to make sure it's dry. And I did. I made sure it was dry. Then you add a lot of water, which I did. See, I'm getting more. You add a lot. Now, I'm not squirting it on. I'm grabbing it and putting it on. But you paint water into this section. You take a paper towel and you blot. And you can tell when I look at it, there's yellow on it. So you keep doing that until the green is gone. And it's green because the blue and yellow make green. So the green is slowly disappearing as I do that. The green on the right, I think, is gone. But I may go over that one petal. Yep, right there. That one petal had more green in it. But I'm going back and forth until there's no green. And then I'll dry it because I don't want to put my pencil onto it while it's wet. And then we'll go back in and color it yellow. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Give it pigment again. And no more green. Isn't that awesome? Now that only works if you've got quality paper. The paper matters. If you do not have really good paper, that's not going to work. You will not get any ink on your paper towel. So if you want to test the paper that you have, that's how you test it. I would put some color down, move it around with some water and try to dry it really well. Then try to activate it again and try to remove it and see if you remove it. If it removes for you like that, You can reactivate the dry and then you can remove it. That's a really good paper. So, and it's nice to be able to do that. This here is LDRS watercolor paper, I believe. And it's either LDRS or it is Tim Holtz Distress Watercolor on the smooth side. This might be, this might be Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz watercolor paper is actually, Tim Holtz and LDRS are different, but are both high quality. Tim Holtz watercolor paper is, wait a minute, let me tell you what I'm doing here. So I colored all of the petal, the light brown. Then I colored the bottom crescent of the petal, the dark brown. And then I added water, which left our dark cast shadow along the bottom and left the top of it highlighted the lighter brown. I just wanted to make sure you got that while I was talking. But Tim Holtz watercolor paper has the tooth on one side, which is the bumpy textured side, and is smooth on the other side. So it's great for techniques because you have both options. LDRS's watercolor paper is smooth, really, really smooth on both sides. And in a video that's coming out, I believe on Wednesday this week, I have a video for you, and we actually attempt to hot foil on watercolor paper. So make sure you check back. If you're visiting me for the first time, definitely hit that notification bell and please subscribe. I would love for you to come back and join me and craft with me on a regular basis. So here is the finished panel, guys. What do you think? Peppa bam! So we are going to trim this baby down and I will show you how I finished it up. We will finish the card in the video. I love it when we can do a technique and also finish a card. You know, sometimes techniques take a little longer, so I don't want to keep you here forever. But I like it when I can, chat a little bit with you, but also give you some tips and tricks and then finish the card as well. Because I just love crafting with you guys, and that's the reason I do this, guys. I just enjoy it so much. Now, I've got two different color inks here. These are the color inks that I had at the beginning of the video and the panel. And I was trying to decide which one I wanted as my border. I decided to go with this one here. And this is the dark one, the Twilight. And we're going to just ink blend around the edges of our border papers. Also the Sentiment and the Sentiment strip. So I've got all of them here, and this is just a kind of a blue-gray paper, but you can do this with anything that's like lighter than the color you want. So you can take any kind of blue and then just darken it with the color that you need. And I went with the darker color because that's what's around the edge. And I want the center to be the pop, the lighter, brighter color. So I'm doing this around so that all of our framing is all coordinating. So it's just a really easy way to save on cardstock too. Just use your ink. And those two little test spots aren't even going to show. I did use the heat gun there because it's pigment, so we don't get any more stains. I learned my lesson. And technically I know that, but when you're doing 10 things at once in your brain, you just tend to forget. That's why every live video I do, I'm always forgetting something. That's the treasured cardstock that I used. I used that bottom layer, which is what this is here. And I usually recommend not to use the glue on specialty paper because a lot of times you can see through it. You can see the lines. We're covering most of this up, so I didn't worry about it, but just keep that in your back pocket that it is good to use like a tape runner when you are gluing your specialty card. I'm saying that out loud so that I remember it myself, guys, because I tend to do it myself. I make that boo-boo. And then I hate it because I've done all this work and now I'm putting my card together and then I realize, oh no, That is 2-inch foam roll that I use there from scrapbook.com. I'll make sure that's in our visual supply list down below in case it's something you've never used. It's just a little faster for these 5x7 panels. It's bigger, you know? It's just faster to use, and they put their stuff on sale all the time. And I love the freebies. So I'm just going to glue these two together real quick. These two on top of the blue frame. And this, I'm not sure what the name of this sentiment set is, but I show it here at the end. It's called Let's Celebrate Sentiments. It is also a Yana Smakula set, and it's off there to the left. You can't really see it, but I wanted something cheerful and a little bit bigger because of the card size. So that's why I went with this one from Yana instead of her current ones that just came out. And I loved that it had a sub-sentiment, and it just kind of made it more bold, more focal, but not so much that it took away from the background, because the background is the focal. You know, those flowers, the coloring, the background, the halo, you know, all of that was my main plan. And I double layered that there just so it had the same border and that just plain white didn't get lost in all that color. So I'm going to use some 1mm foam squares here, and you can get these at either Spellbinders or Scrapbook Pal. And I will put these here, make sure they're as straight as I can get them. And then we will be done with our card. I'm not putting any bling on this baby. I think it's got enough going on. So there we go. I am super happy about that. I hope you guys like it too, and come back and see me super soon. All those affiliate links are down below, and that's me showing you the Let's Celebrate Sentiments. It's a pretty big set, and the big sentiments have those dies. So I will see you next time, my friends. Bye-bye for now.